Well, if you can't tell right now, we are about to go with a Dote Bayo and a little Gomu Gomu no. Anyway, yeah, let's get to the video.
In the animal world, only the strong survive. This program contains scenes where some don't. Viewer discretion is advised.
Top of the morning, 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 top of the morning.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. So, this video, we're gonna be having a little discussion. You know, plenty of people have been asking me, actually, not a soul, not a single soul, not one person has asked me this question. But what do I enjoy more, Naruto or One Piece?
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
But before we dive deeper into this video and this question, let's do some house cleaning. So before we get into the video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, as well as that notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. As well as if you enjoy the video, please be sure to hit me with a like and leave a comment. So with that being said, let's just get into it, y'all.
If she ain't got a butt, fucking get into it, yo.
What do I enjoy more? You know, One Piece or Naruto? And this is purely based on opinion. What I'm going to be stating in this video, I'm not really going to be saying what I genuinely think is better or what I think I would recommend to other people. I'm just going to say which one I've actually enjoyed better over time. I mean, some backstory. My introduction to Naruto, I got into that like probably beginning of high school. It was really a long time ago. I got into English dub thanks to my boy Malik and some of my peoples on my block. They put me onto that, and I only saw like a little bit of scenes here and there. I remember the first scene I ever seen was Gaara versus Naruto, you know, the big QB fight. And then from there I was like, this is kind of dope. I watched him play a couple games and I was like, let me try this out. Got into it, started watching the English dub, and from there that I had to be like, oh, this is good. You know what's funny? During my process of getting into Naruto, it was so interesting because once I kind of caught up to the English dub and got to the point in time where Sasuke ran away from the village, I was like watching the rest of the episodes after the first part of Naruto like, yo, why all of this feel weird? And I didn't really know what filler was back then either. Remember, this is like 2000 maybe 8, 2009 maybe at best, and I had no idea what filler was, but it felt funny. But then some time passed, the internet was a thing, and this is back when YouTube was crazy, and there was a couple like illegal sites back then too. But trying to watch like Naruto Shippuden in English sub back then, because there was no English dub, you had to watch part 1 of 3 or part 2 of 3 of like episode 48 or something like that. It was crazy, son. Like, my experience on Naruto has been very interesting. It's really a throwback all in itself. Whether it be by the time I caught up to the anime, it was a little bit before the Pain arc, and then I ended up having to read the manga, and that's when I caught up and reading the manga weekly. And then from there, for the next couple years, I just was reading it up until it finished in 2015. And you know, at that time, this is when I was watching people like Sawyer 7 Mage and For Never World to kind of get my Naruto review fixed. I didn't really have a lot of people to talk too much anime stuff with, as you know, as I do now these days, especially now that I decided to do YouTube stuff now too. But overall, that's been my like introduction to Naruto and what made me love it. And it was kind of the first ongoing long running shonen that I got into and kind of got to see end and go through the long haul. So it has a special connection to me. It's kind of been there since I went from high school through college up until I got my first like real corporate job. But you know, that's just how I got into Naruto. Now let me get into how I got into One Piece. Getting into One Piece has been more of a traditional story. I started watching One Piece back in, I want to say 2018. It was so funny. I had just came back from my Valentine's Day date with my girlfriend, and we came back from dinner, and I was like, what am I gonna watch? And I was like, maybe I should start One Piece. And I think around this time, this is where I got into One Piece, around where Gear 4th got introduced, I believe. Or not Gear 4th, but Gear 4th Snake Man. It was somewhere around there. That's when I started watching it. I can't remember exactly, but whatever time it was, February 2018 is when I started watching it. So that's, if you want to, you know, date it and figure out exactly what was going on at the time, go ahead, do your thing. But One Piece itself, when I first tried watching it, I took everybody's word for it. I was like, there's a reason why this thing has so many episodes, why this thing is so popular. And I was watching so much anime at the time. Like, I was just starting new series after new series after new series, and I was watching so many short series that I was like, okay, maybe I'll finally throw my hat in the ring, you know, throw my my straw hat in the ring. Now I'm bugging out. Watching the series, the first like couple episodes, I was like, man, this shit is kind of slow. The animation I always found funny growing up. I did know the back in the day, like, ya yo, uh-oh, give it a, the 4Kids joint. I knew the 4Kids version of One Piece, and it was off-putting. The English dub was so weird. The intro was cool, but I digress. Let me get back into my experience of, getting into One Piece. Those first 300 episodes, all the way up until maybe Skypiea, actually. Skypiea is when I started liking the series a lot, but I wasn't in love until we got to Enix Lobby / Water 7. That's when I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then from there, I was able to I binged One Piece all the way up until some point of Whole Cake Island, I believe. That's what I got up to. And I did that in 3 months. So I started in February 2018, and I was caught up by May 2018. I wasn't playing no games. I was watching One Piece at home. I was watching it in the gym. I was watching it on the train. I was watching it during my lunch break. Like, I wasn't playing. Like, I was watching it on my phone. Like, I was locked in. And honestly, I ended up loving it too now. Like, now that I do One Piece kind of manga chapter reviews, I've kind of gotten started on my whole YouTube community. The impact that One Piece has been kind of a second chapter of my life. Naruto kind of cemented my love for anime, but One Piece for the most part is more ingratiated me into feeling more comfortable into talking about anime on the internet and stuff. Those are my introductions to both. Now, let's get into the main characters. So, my opinion for the main characters for One Piece and Naruto are different. It's between Naruto and it's between Luffy. And honestly, if I'm gonna choose who I prefer more and who I enjoy more, I prefer Naruto over Luffy. I just think that Naruto is just a much more in-depth character, has a lot more to offer, and has a much more personal story to give than Luffy itself. And don't get me wrong, I like Luffy and I like, his personality, but there's other characters I enjoy more than Luffy in One Piece. But Luffy is a character, kind of that Goku-esque personality, and shonen doesn't do it for me all the time, and that carefreeness just doesn't add for an interesting main character for me. And I'm not calling Luffy not interesting, I just don't enjoy Luffy as I've enjoyed Naruto. Both great shonen protagonists, but Naruto just kind of has this kind of development and this dark side, and just has a lot more going on as a person that you want to see them grow versus Luffy. Luffy, you're looking more for him to, find out what the One Piece is and achieve his dream. But not only are you watching Naruto achieve his dream, but you're also watching him develop as a person and find love after being kind of like a orphan, essentially. So all that being said, if I had to really choose who I enjoy more out of Naruto and Luffy as for the characters for these two stories, I'm gonna go Naruto. Now, next category I want to get into is supporting characters. Honestly, if I'm gonna say which one I enjoy more for supporting characters wise, I think One Piece has way better supporting characters, side characters, everything. One Piece is a bigger world already. A much more interesting world, honestly. And with an interesting world, I think you're going to probably get some more interesting side characters. Already, the crew itself, like One Piece having a whole Straw Hat crew that actually sticks around through the story, and the story just doesn't focus on just Luffy. It kind of does have all of them together, as opposed to Naruto, where Naruto's just about Naruto as Sasuke, and all the other side characters get forgotten, especially after part 1. One Piece has shown to keep all the side characters involved, whether it be my personal favorite Sanji, you have Zoro, you have Robin, Nami, Frankie, Usopp. Like, they all have great character arcs. And then there's other characters that you enjoy as well. You end up enjoying Sabo. You end up enjoying Garp. You end up enjoying Kobe. Like, there's just Boa Hancock, Trafalgar Law. Like, not so much Eustace Kid, but there's just more side characters and supporting characters in One Piece that I think they're just better than what Naruto has to offer. Yeah, Shikamaru's that guy. I love Itachi. Sakura's whatever. I love Kakashi as well, and Jiraiya. Like, those people hit hard, and I think that they have, bigger impacts on the story of Naruto. But overall, I think One Piece has a bigger and better, set of side characters, supporting characters. So I'm gonna give that to One Piece. Next category I want to talk about is villains. Honestly, do I feel like the villains in One Piece are that good? They're fine. Doflamingo's a dope villain. Crocodile was a dope villain. Enel was a dope villain. And Kaido and Big Mom, these are dope villains for the story. But do I really get the same kind of feel and the same, I guess, tug of war between good and evil, or conflicting ideals, or that need to stop somebody that I do in Naruto? Like, Naruto had Orochimaru. Naruto had Toby. Naruto had Pain. Naruto had Madara. Let's not talk about Kaguya. When Naruto had to go against Gaara, like, those villains that Naruto had to go up against were completely different clashes of ideas. Or even when Sasuke had to go against Itachi. Itachi was technically a villain, even though, you find out, spoiler alert, that, there's a little bit more to him than you think. But for the most part, I want to say Naruto has better villains. Their villains left a bigger impact on the story, I believe, than One Piece has. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying One Piece villains are bad. I just listed the villains I enjoy from One Piece. But something about the Naruto villains just hit home, especially having the whole Akatsuki and things like that. It's just more memorable. It just hits better for me. Now things are going to get a little bit more controversial. Let's get into the story. So honestly, between the story of Naruto and the story itself of One Piece, I have to say I enjoy the story of One Piece better. And this is going to coincide with, my other categories I'm going to get into right after, so I won't, get too into it. But I believe that the One Piece story is insane. I've never read anything like this, and I don't think anything can ever compare. This is a story that's currently on chapter 1044. At the time of recording this, we already found out that something happened. I'm not going to say it just in case somebody watches this and it's anime only. But I am on chapter 1044, and we know, if you are a manga reader, what happened in chapter 1044. But the story itself is insane. And this is not me taking the anime pace into consideration or anime filler for both stories. I'm just saying what it is. I think that One Piece just offers a bigger world and has a better story going on, and I want to know so much more about it. Naruto itself, it's a great story specifically about Naruto, and I think that is a mad lessons to learn about yourself and that you can learn from Naruto's character. But what One Piece offers is just on a completely different scale. It's like Star Wars-esque, Lord of the Rings-esque, where like Naruto is, can't really think of a comparison right now, but it's different. So overall, I'm gonna have to give this to your boy Luffy, One Piece, for story. Alright, so next point I want to get into is the world for Naruto and the world for One Piece. Just like I said, in regards to my opinion for the story, I think the world of One Piece is just more interesting. It's better. There's mad different islands. There's so much more you want to learn. There's so much lore. It's just a much richer and well thought out, I think, story and world that Oda has put into his characters and these different islands and the world government and everything. I think that the world itself is just much more interesting than Naruto. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the world that Naruto has, but it doesn't get fleshed out too much outside of the Hidden Leaf Village. Yeah, we know there's other villages that exist, but at no point in time do we ever actually get to explore what's going on there, the politics. The story doesn't really expand past Naruto's point of view, which is nothing wrong with that. But, you don't get to really see how rich the world is itself. Yes, the characters are rich, but the world itself feels a little shallow. So, gonna have to give this to One Piece. Next category we get into is fights. Honestly, I don't care what you say. There is no fights in One Piece that's messing with anything from Naruto. Whether we're going with Madara versus the 5 Kage, Team 7 versus Zabuza and Haku, Shikamaru versus Tamari, cool, Jiraiya versus the 6 Paths of Pain, Naruto versus the 6 Paths of Pain, Itachi versus Sasuke, Rock Lee versus Gaara, Obito versus Kakashi, Madara versus Might Guy, and Sasuke versus Naruto. Honestly, bro, there isn't a single One Piece fight that is messing with what these fights offer in Naruto. Granted, there are some great fights in One Piece, don't get me wrong. Whether it be Sanji versus Jabra, or Nico Robin versus Black Maria, Zoro versus King, the Scabbers versus Kaido. I'm only saying that one because they put mad sauce in the anime. Ace versus Blackbeard, Sanji versus Queen, Zoro versus Mr. One, Luffy versus Katakuri, Luffy versus Lucci, or one of the best fights, Luffy versus Usopp, which is very, very emotional. That shit actually kind of had me crying more than I thought it would be. But anyways, both series, yeah, they have great fights. They have great moments. But, boy, them fights in Naruto just hit different. Whether it be the different jutsu techniques, the animation that they use, it just hits different. The powers are just insane. One Piece, yeah, the fights have a little bit more weight and meaning to them, or they kind of have this underlying thing, and it's not a story more that's about the fights and the technique itself. It's more of a world building story, like I said. But what Naruto offers in the fight department, I could watch a compilation of Naruto fights any day. So I'm gonna have to give this to Naruto. Next up, I want to get into the anime only experience, and I feel like this will definitely hold credence to a lot of people. My anime only experience for Naruto, which I stated before of how I started watching it, was interesting. But if I had to be a casual watcher, if I was starting it for the first time, honestly, as long as you actually find a list to skip all the filler in Naruto, I think you're fine. You could totally enjoy it. Now, if you didn't know any better and you really sat through every single episode of Naruto not knowing what was filler and what wasn't, you might be a little over it, per se. But One Piece's experience, even though it doesn't have a lot of filler episodes, it has a lot of filler feeling episodes. You can't really skip any episodes of One Piece, unfortunately, because every episode is technically canon. But what they do is they stretch it out so much in the episode that I feel like watching week to week for most people is probably not that enjoyable. They feel like they're kind of just watching themselves be stagnant, especially during arcs like Whole Cake and Dressrosa. You're just sitting there forever like, yo, can we get this going? And these are things that occur, post time skip in the anime. Anime pre-time skip was really, really quick. But given that the manga and the anime is probably about a year far apart from each other in regards to content, since they don't do filler episodes, they're constantly on their toes adding padding to these episodes, which helps out because we get a little bit more source on some of the fights that Oda ends up skipping. But something about Naruto's consistency, as long as you don't watch the filler episodes, if we're talking about the anime experience as a whole, I think that the Naruto, I don't even know. Shit, man, Wano was busting right now, so it's hard for me to say, but I might have to go on the ledge and really be like, I think Naruto has the better anime only experience, honestly. As long as you skip the filler episodes, I think that you will enjoy it more. I think watching One Piece week to week can be a real trudge, even though Wano is lit. Next up, let's get into the intros. So, the intro songs for both of these series, very, very extensive, long list, but there are a lot of bangers. And yes, the One Piece intro, the OG, that's dope. But overall, ain't nothing fucking with Silhouette for me, man. Silhouette and Naruto's intros, they just, Nanimo, or you hit me with a Bluebird, there's nothing really, I think, in most catalogs. Black Clover has some bangers though, but most catalogs is not messing with Naruto's extensive 20-something plus intro catalog, or maybe it's like 17. I might be bugging out. I don't know. Let me know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on One Piece's intros. There are mad good One Piece intros that I mess with, but Naruto has higher highs than what I think One Piece does. One Piece has its iconic intro, which transcends over time, in which they end up using it over and over again. But in regards to just the better songs and the better visuals in the intros, I think Naruto beats One Piece hands down. And lastly, the last point I want to get to is community experience. All fandoms and all communities have toxicity in it. Everything, whether it be sports fandom, whether it be reality show fandoms, anime fandoms, anything you could think of. There is toxicity in all fan bases, and they end up being louder than the people who aren't toxic. So that sucks. But for me, the community experience that I've had for Naruto versus One Piece, I found One Piece to be just way more refreshing. The internet wasn't as booming and YouTube wasn't as booming with as many reviewers at the time when Naruto was still ongoing and Naruto was before Naruto ended and stuff. But with conversations had with other people that in my experience and how people treat Naruto and sometimes act in regards to like talking about Sakura and all types of things like that, I find sometimes the Naruto community can be a little bit annoying and frustrating, especially when it comes to logic. And also, it's just cartoons, bro. It's not that fucking serious. Relax. People be going hard when if you like Sakura, they want to send you to the fucking Shadow Realm. And listen, I don't really fuck with Sakura. Don't send me to the Shadow Realm. But they be ready to kill people over it. Or people are like, yeah, 10-10 super garbage. Like the amount of hate that goes into some of the characters or some of the plot lines or based on how the story ended, it's really just like frustrating, honestly, to watch it, because it's just like, damn, man, this is a story somebody put their hard work into and you guys are like going in and like relax. But One Piece itself, I'm not saying there's no toxicity in One Piece, but I haven't experienced it as much, honestly. It's there, but honestly, people who are One Piece fans, they just want people to watch it. they just once somebody gets into One Piece, all they want is somebody else to get into One Piece too, so they can talk about it with them. There's something exhilarating and thrilling to talk about the One Piece world and the theories itself and the characters, or who's your favorite Straw Hat, and this idea of Nakama, whatever that Oda has put into the story and imbued has been, it's honestly crazy. And then the YouTube community itself, I mean, honestly, like the camaraderie that I see with all the YouTube One Piece creators, whether that be Tekken 101, Brago, King of Lightning, Rogers Base, JD Legend, like the list goes on. If I forgot names, you know, I'm not really trying to like say like who's the best, so like whatever right now. These are just, it's just what I see all the time. You know, Grand Line Review, Joy Girl, and then, you know, the creator who's been doing the colorings, Grecia, she does stuff there. It's just the sense of community. And then you have Murphy Napier and Totally Not Mark also. I'm sorry, I'm just listing out names. But watching people not only do art, get into One Piece for the first time, people who are vets and their theories and how much they know about the series, honestly, it makes being into the series so much more exciting. The community itself makes the week-to-week grind worth it. And I feel like it's something you can experience, mainly manga, you know, experience, because it's a week-to-week. If you're anime, you're kind of usually on your own. There's not really anybody to really talk about it with you besides, like, you know, people who do live reaction anime reviews every week who don't read the manga, but that's not as big as the community I feel like that does the manga weekly reviews. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Naruto itself, you know, the YouTube atmosphere, the YouTube sphere wasn't as booming, and I wasn't, you know, as into that many creators, because there weren't as many. Like I said, I was only watching like For Never World and Sawyer 7 Mage, and I got to King of Lightning kind of like at the end points of Naruto. So I'm gonna have to say One Piece has a better community experience, honestly. Once you get into it, man, it's, you really do feel like you're part of a fucking Grand Fleet or something. It's not even to be corny. So, I mean, that's that right there. So if you notice, I haven't really been giving points. I haven't been doing a point system. I more or less just want to talk about different aspects of both stories that I feel like some people want to talk about. Like, hey, this is better, this is better, this is better, this is better. But overall, if I really had to answer your question and I had to tell you which series I enjoy more or I've enjoyed better, it's got to be One Piece, honestly. I can't even lie to you. I love Naruto to death of me. I have Naruto tattoos, and Naruto will always probably be my favorite series in anime. But One Piece is just better. It's just a better story. I got the headband on. I'm not lying to you. I do think that One Piece is just the better story overall. I think that is the better thing to be into than Naruto, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is for me. This is for me. Like I said, I love Naruto, but what Oda has done with One Piece is just absolutely impressive. That it is what it is. I enjoy One Piece more than Naruto, but do I love One Piece more than Naruto? No. It is what it is.
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
But let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you pick on this side. Or maybe you're not into either. Maybe you're trying to figure out, which one of these series you want to get into. Maybe you're scared to get into One Piece or get into Naruto because the length of chapters or the amount of episodes there is. But on that note, please be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit me with a like and leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on this little discussion that we're having. So, on that note, y'all, enjoy your life.
I'm feeling great and feel the vibe. I'm really grateful we alive. And I'm feeling great cause lately I've been on the way to something great. And I feel alive cause I create like every day and I'm on to